are getting very, very interesting. Let me start this video by borrowing a wisdom from the Bible. The Bible says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." Kenyans are perishing for lack of knowledge. And in this case specifically, the mountain is perishing for lack of knowledge. Earlier today, there was drama in Nyeri. Dorcas Rigathi, Rigathi Gachagwa's wife, had organized a prayer meeting in Nyeri. Maina Njenga stormed that meeting, and Dorcas Rigathi had to run away for her dear life. It's interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Before we have a look at that, let me say this. Any Kenyan underestimating the political prowess of William Ruto, you are doing that at your own peril. Ruto is a master political strategist. He's got a rare political trait. He never gives up. Ruto always fights to the last drop of his political blood. This is a man who never gives up. And that's how he was able to beat a combination of Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, Kalonzo Musyoka, and that team. Mark you, Raila Odinga was very powerful and very popular on the ground. But even with the support of Uhuru Kenyatta, a sitting president, they were not able to beat William Samoei Ruto. And for those who saw how William Ruto was campaigning, he was doing everything the opposite way. He was getting everything wrong. But still, he went ahead and became Kenya's president. In the past 2 years, it's true, Ruto has been getting so many things wrong. But I'll be very reluctant to underestimate William Ruto's political prowess. This is a man who has got some rare political traits. And as we head towards 2027, I'm now more convinced than ever that it will be very hard to send William Ruto home come 2027. In 2023 and in 2024, Ruto was fighting Rigathi Gachagua, and he was also fighting a united opposition of Raila Odinga and the Kalonzos. As I talk, Raila and William Ruto are together. And even Uhuru Kenyatta is with William Samoei Ruto. So things have changed. One day in Kenya's politics is a long period of time. The political situation that was in Kenya in 2023 and in 2024 is different from the political situation in Kenya in 2025. One day in Kenya's politics is a very long period of time. Politics is dynamic and it do change. And that's why, as we head towards 2027, I'm getting more convinced that it will not be easy to send William Ruto home. With this kind of politics, I'm seeing Kenyans playing. This ethnic politics being played by Kenyans, William Ruto will win very early in the morning. Kenyans must wake up. This aspect of one or two tribes coming together to beat Ruto, it will not be all that easy, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look at what happened today in Nyeri. Let's listen to Dorcas Rigathi before Maina Njenga stormed her event. Listen to this.
People who stand and can be able to correct an error. We cannot sit as Kenyans and lie to ourselves and say the country is doing well. It is not doing well. We have too much wickedness.
Yes, that was Dorcas speaking before Maina Njenga stormed that event. And that was meant to be a prayer event. And from the way Dorcas was speaking, it's very clear that was a political event masquerading as a prayer event. That's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. And not once, not twice, but severally. Just as I've been saying here, we normally see Rigathi Gachagua and his team going to churches, and then they use the church pulpits to play politics. That's something we have been seeing quite often. Rigathi attending a church event, and then they use the church pulpit to play politics. And that's exactly what Dorcas Rigathi was doing today in Nyeri. She had organized an event masquerading as a prayer event. The event turned political. And that's how Maina Njenga came in. Have a look at this. Let's put that into perspective. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. To support our forum, that's my number. Let's proceed. I started by saying Kenyans perish for lack of knowledge. The government currently in power was imposed on Kenyans by the mountain. In less than 2 years, they started rebelling. And as they rebelled, they have been using some orthodox means on the mountain to deal with William Ruto supporters. We've seen Rigathi Gachagua and his team heckling and even chasing away William Ruto supporters on the mountain. So they are not tolerant enough to allow William Ruto's supporters and allies sell their agenda on the mountain. And because of that, it's very clear to me that a plot has been hatched by William Ruto's allies to actually counter the animosity coming from Rigathi Gachagua's team. And that's why we are now seeing Maina Njenga. And at the end of it all, Rigathi and his team on the mountain will lose. The mountain will be very hostile for them to a point They'll even be afraid of going out to campaign. And I'm saying that because of this notion of the Mungiki thing. The mountain will be very hostile to Rigathi and his team, courtesy to Maina Njenga and to William Ruto supporters there. That's one aspect of it. The second aspect, registration of voters on the mountain will be minimized. The government will most definitely use its tools in making sure very few people are registered as voters on the mountain. And because of the threat coming from Maina Njenga and his team, even the turnout during election time, the turnout will not be all that much. So at the end of the day, the mountain's voting political power will have been seriously affected. Ruto knows and understands that the biggest bloc that will be against his re-election, if things were to remain constant, that bloc will come from the mountain. Even it will be a quarter or half of the mountain, it will be a sizable block, a block that will not be compared to any block in Kenya. Ruto already understands that. He knows that his main critics will be coming from the mountain. William Ruto has laid out a strategy in making sure the mountain's political dominance is curtailed in good time. That's what is happening here, ladies and gentlemen. And William Ruto will win this war. Regarding Gachagwa's team, they are not seeing all this. When William Ruto started the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua thought he could not be impeached. And his supporters also thought he was not going to be impeached. In fact, they were cracking some numbers, that Rigathi has numbers in the Senate, in the National Assembly. And they were also saying the courts were going to save him. The National Assembly never saved him. The Senate never saved him. The courts never saved Rigathi Gachagua. As it is, Rigathi cannot contest or hold any public office. Some of Rigathi Gachagua's supporters were disputing all that. And even right now, I'm saying and I'm repeating, it will not be easy beating William Samoei Ruto. As someone who has supported an opposition candidate, sometimes when you are in the opposition, you can think the government is too unpopular, that it does not have supporters. Yes, anytime you are in the opposition, you can be tempted to think that way. And this is why I sympathize with any of Raila Odinga supporters who have all along sung haki yetu, haki yetu. You can't do the same thing the same way and you keep on failing, and you still continue doing it the same way. You must change your strategies. For Rigathi Gachagua supporters thinking they will remove Ruto, I can forgive them. For Raila Odinga supporters who have all along sung haki yetu, still singing haki yetu, something is wrong with you. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.